So why do these prison workers keep smashing with the inmates and then later helping them escape? What's up with that? Anyway, this story starts with this guy, Richard. And Richard, he's about 46 when all this starts, and the dude is just not a good guy. He's actually in prison for murdering a few people. He's at this correctional facility in New York. Here's a picture of it. Here's the thing about Richard, though. He doesn't really like prison. Because who would? I guess you're not really supposed to like prison. But Richard wants to break out really bad, even if he has to seduce a prison employee to do that. And one day in 2013, he gets the perfect opportunity when he meets this woman, Joyce. And Joyce, she's around 48 and she works at the prison. She's a supervisor in the prison tailor shop. I guess it's where they make the clothes. And Richard thinks that Joyce is fine, and Joyce thinks Richard is fine right back. And so they start chatting and they hit it off and they low-key start flirting. Pretty soon, they start hooking up right there in the prison. They would allegedly sneak away and she would give him a handy when no one was looking. Oh, but it gets worse. It's already crazy enough that Joyce and Richard are hooking up, which is of course against prison rules, but also Joyce is married. And her husband also happens to work at the prison. Of course, he has no idea any of this is going on. And if that isn't bad enough, she's also rumored to be hooking up with this other inmate, David. David's 32 and he's also in prison for murder. So allegedly, Joyce is hooking up with him too, but that's never been confirmed because she denies that. Regardless, it is confirmed that she's hooking up with Richard. And 2 years pass, and it's now 2015, and she's still low-key hooking up with him, giving him secret handies or whatever. And by this point, she's legit falling in love with him. And it's around this time that both inmates, Richard and his friend David, they decide that they've had enough of this prison life. They are ready to bust out and escape to Mexico. And so they come up with a plan. They're each gonna tunnel through the walls in their respective cells, because right behind those walls, there's a narrow crawl space filled with steam pipes and electrical lines. And if they can get to that crawl space, they can snake their way through the area and come out through a manhole outside the prison walls. It's a little bit like that prison escape scene in Shawshank Redemption, if you've seen that. Now, this plan sounds great and all, but Richard and David immediately have a problem. They need to tunnel through the walls in their cells, but they don't have any tools to do that. They're in a maximum security prison. They're not allowed to have tools. But luckily, they just happen to know someone who can help them. Joyce. Because, Joyce will do anything for Richard because she's in love with him. And she thinks that maybe if he breaks out,